Wednesday. We're doing those big tests. I got my dad
I feel like
that'll look great, though. That'll look great.
Not like that. Slightly on PC.
Too much.
Okay, too much.
Still, you know, you're too much.
Too much, not subtlety. Subtlety out the window. I was sent off to Ape School, and for about 4 weeks and 5 weeks. First of all, we had sort of anatomy lessons. It explained that we had much shorter legs, much longer arms that probably had much more, you know, greater length to them, shoulders that were probably more. Just sort of distribution of weight and powers is different. You'd have to constantly think you're essentially a quadruped. It's hard to walk onto legs. It's hard to walk on legs also that you can't actually, you've got no forward hip movement. So we were taught, like a sort of, a bit like dancing, we were taken through how to stand and walk through like first position. Legs always have to be like parallel, slight squat, killer on your legs. And imagine, the image that sort of really worked for me was to imagine as you walk a diaper, or I call them nappies, but a diaper full of stuff that you didn't want to spill, and it was that gingerness, and it was that definitely worked for me. Then we were taught how to move. Everything's in rounds too. Possibly because you've got the great length of arm, you're not going to go, nothing's direct, and it's all sort of. A lot of the point actually is that it's not to be intellectualized. You just have to sort of do it, and that was immensely useful because you had to. The whole essence of it was that you had to physicalize everything and think and be in your body, which is completely ape-like, and there's no intellectualization. There's no sort of extra little monologue going on in your head. You had to sort of stop thinking and just try and be present and as alive in the moment, which is all very acting. I mean, it was like going to drama school. All very appropriate to acting anyway.
All right, let's start with some breathing, just to really get into the rhythm. That's one thing that we did find when we were just hanging out with the chimps, is they're just so in tune with themselves. Seems, you know, they just sit and they're just there.
That gravity.
Completely just centered.
Perhaps their words are connected with movement. So there is a kind of, like, how people speak in deaf and dumb. Somebody is, like, that much more physical. Just thinking, like, how would they talk? You've got, like, different choices. Either thinking, like, well, anatomically they might be different, but unless we are just going to talk like ourselves, like this. But, or then if we talk like ourselves, then we can actually connect them, like, just like how we're being we're connected. You're talking about, like, everyone, they're much more earthed. Does that mean that therefore we can talk with more deliberation or something? Or if something's more, they're more intuitive other than linguistic, perhaps they are like in sign language, you speak with much more expression, but you're with more of your body. So it is more, or like almost a bit not dancer-like, but there's something
connected.
Muscularity, but also it's on the breath, but also and then the other thing is, like, anatomically, if they've got bigger ribs, the sound that they come out with, the shrieks when they do get out, then they have to be much larger. And, you know, in between, you've got a whole, not like twitches and anything, but it's punctuated by some animal, useful, it has to be, like, directed. Gestures, or you know, they probably smell something instead of look at something, wouldn't they? Because they sense something's happening. It was taken very seriously. I mean, at first, in fact, I failed. I was flunked. I got F or something.
First thing in the movie.
Fuck! No! What are you doing? Telling me to do! Who's keeping you up? Oh, that living creature!
This is what I have to do.
Stop it!
Come around the tree. Come around the tree.
And I was told I had ADD and I had absolutely no concentration, which I thought was very chimp-like, you know. But no, not true.
Getting her to just focus was the challenge, you know. I failed her at Ape School in the beginning, you know. So she failed. So she had to come back in and just work on her breathing. And just learn how to breathe and just to be. How to be still. And once she found that, it was like, then her character started to evolve. Once she found that stillness, and she realized that she didn't have to, you know, be on, then her character at 8 came out.
Are they going to give you muscles in the back?
Yeah, I asked them.
So that'll help your neck go forward.
Exactly. I asked them, because all the extras get all this help and I don't. They just expect me to act it.
No.
Try to hang on to something, yeah. Hold it. Round arm, remember? Find something over your head.